Well, since the early 1930s, coastal Louisiana, we've lost about 2,300 square miles. And this isn't just some far-fetched area. This is actually an area that's the most productive ecosystem in North America. It's responsible for over 98% of the commercial seafood in the Gulf of Mexico at some point in their life. It's an area where people live, where people fish, where people recreate. And so the loss of this 2,300 square miles that's projected to continue at extraordinary rates is the loss of our culture in Louisiana. It's the loss of our fishing industry in Louisiana. It's the loss of that productive habitat. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to restore that ecosystem, restore that fish habitat, restore this and improve the sustainability of the fisheries in South Louisiana, and importantly, to protect and improve the resiliency and sustainability of the coastal communities where many of our fishermen live, many of our energy workers, and many other economic engines are based in Louisiana. Some of the biggest challenges are the regulatory hurdles that we have to go through, trying to get federal regulatory approval for a lot of these projects. For example, we have to come in and do these multi-year environmental analysis for projects that are designed to actually benefit the environment. And so there have been cases where the federal hoops we have to jump through have taken us so many years that, for example, if we're trying to build a project to restore 200 acres, we may have gone through studies and analysis to comply with federal requirements that during the time we did those analysis, we actually lost more than 200 acres. And so it doesn't make sense in some cases. These projects are designed to benefit the environment, designed to help improve the resiliency of these communities, and they should be treated as urgent actions and have an expedited approval process. Looking at this and seeing how it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to have this area that's so important from a national economic perspective because of the energy production. It's so important from a cultural perspective, the home of the unique Cajun culture. Over 2 million people live in South Louisiana. Watching the devastation that occurred in 2005 with Hurricanes Katrina and Rita, 1,400 people lose their lives. Congress appropriates $150 billion responding to these disasters. Watching the fishing industry be devastated and all the infrastructure related to the fishing industry be devastated, and seeing very little to be done to prevent that from happening again. It just doesn't make sense from an economic perspective, from a cultural perspective, from a societal perspective. We need to make investments. We need to fundamentally change the way that we're doing business, the way that these projects and efforts are being carried out in South Louisiana, because I'm concerned that it threatens the sustainability of South Louisiana. It threatens the sustainability of the fishermen and the seafood industry in our country.